What's up, guys? Welcome back to Digital Dive In, the proper gaming talk show where we dive into the latest news in gaming every single week. It's your boy, Mr. Monkey, and with me today is SGK. Back in the house. It's another week. Today is May 7th. Just a couple days ago, it was May the 4th. And you know your boy is all about that Star Wars shit.
I was.
It was also Cinco de Mayo, along with Revenge of the 5th.
Hey.
So this whole week is just different reasons to be nerdy and drink. Speaking about being nerdy, we got a ton of gaming news and some big news that we're going to touch on at the end of this video. A little bit different from what we usually talk about, and we'll touch on that when we get there. But anyway, starting off with some Xbox news. I know we don't talk about Xbox that much. We mainly are Sony fanboys, and we just ride that train. But yeah. Xbox is doing some cool shit. So they have this whole FPS Boost system, their frames per second boost system, which is designed to enhance the performance of backwards compatible games, which personally I think is fantastic on Xbox's part, something Sony should really get up on. But they just updated 70 plus games, older games, that now support their FPS Boost system. So they've been doing this ever since, I guess, the console came out. I know the last one was in March. I did one in February as well, where they updated like 10 to 12 games, 10 to 15 games. This one was, I think, their biggest update yet. And it was
like 90 plus games or something.
Well, they updated 70 games, I think, right now. The total number of games now supported is 97. But the games that they updated, some of them that they updated were like AC Unity, Far Cry 5, Deus Ex Mankind Divided, and a bunch more. There's a whole list. We'll link to the article by IGN down in the description below. But I think this is kind of dope. What do you think?
I think it's excellent. And honestly, it's all about customer long-term satisfaction. And when I look in the comments, I see all these Microsoft fanboys like, yeah, it's just like so excited. So like, hey, they're making their fans happy. People are having a reason to buy the console, which is the most important thing. It's really good for Microsoft, and they're doing the slow and steady take to work on their exclusives. So, unfortunately, I can see Microsoft actually coming up in a couple years, really coming up big with this new console.
Yeah, I mean, Microsoft has really been, under scrutiny for, since the 360, especially with Xbox One, about just not caring about their fans because they basically didn't have any good exclusives for the last gen.
Yeah.
They didn't at all. And even a lot of Xbox fans were like, yo, Microsoft, what the hell are you doing? Give us some shit. I mean, you see Sony giving all their players all this fan service stuff. And then it's still just a couple months into next gen, or I guess almost a year now into next gen, and they still don't really have any real Xbox Series X exclusives. They got a bunch coming, but they've been delayed. They've been pushed back. They've been, delayed.
They've been delaying Halo for the last two consoles now.
Exactly. So I don't know what's going on with that, but I guess to make up for that, they're really pushing this backwards compatibility. They're updating all these games to function and perform better on next-gen consoles, or I guess current-gen now. So I think that's really, really cool. I think that's a really good, not so much give and take, but I think it's a good sign from Xbox and Microsoft that they are caring more about their players this time around than they did last gen.
No, yeah, absolutely.
But that's just me. Guys, what do you think about this whole story about Xbox doing all these updates for backwards compatible games? Let us know if you still play old games as well. Moving on, last week we talked about how Discord, I think it was last week or the week before, we talked about how Discord is decided not to sell to Microsoft. It was kind of big news because they were in talks and everything, but then at the last minute they pulled out saying that they're not going to sell at all and they're going to focus on internal stuff. So it came out at the beginning of this week that Sony and Discord are going into a partnership together. Discord is not selling to Sony. They're not selling to Sony. This is purely just a partnership where Sony is going to incorporate the whole chat feature from Discord into PlayStation. Which we've been waiting on forever. Discord is the most versatile chat platform you can get for gaming specifically. A lot of streamers who use Discord already, and I would love to use Discord a lot more for my game chats. It would help for streaming, except I don't have a lot of games on my play or my computer, and using a capture card is okay, but there's some lag issues there I got to work out. So being able to have Discord and I mean even using it instead of just regular game chat, that's going to be so nice.
Mhm. I mean, honestly, I one thing I love it because it's just going to be really easy to. I'm expecting that it's going to bridge the gap between PC and Sony players, especially when you have a lot of
Yeah,
more cross-play games coming out. Like more and more people are trying to implement cross-play, so everybody can play with everybody. You don't have to kind of pick a side. You know what I'm saying? So Discord and PlayStation coming together, that would actually just be perfect for me right now. Because the
exactly.
one thing is I have my friends list on my PlayStation account and I have my games on my PC. So it's just like
Yeah,
I need these things to come together.
exactly. Not and for this one, I mean, Xbox has a much deeper uh, partnership with Discord. They have like basically an entire social media type of thing for gamers
Mm-hmm.
on Xbox, similar to what PlayStation is doing right now with the PS5 and how you can follow people and say what games they're playing and stuff like that. This is just going to be the chat infrastructure. So it's just going to be an alternative chat app that you can use. But hopefully they implement it in a way that is seamless and not janky and weird. So hopefully they make it
Yeah.
work. I'm really, really hoping because I got people on Xbox, I got people on PC that, but like all these games are intercompatible. So we're going to be able to actually play and talk with each other and not just through game chat. Because I'm sorry, game chat is extremely toxic, and I don't want to deal with that. But yeah, guys, what do you think about this whole partnership? Do you guys even use Discord? Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts about the Sony Discord thing are.
Do you think it's overwhelming and confusing?
A little bit, a little bit. Talking about overwhelming and confusing, we want to have like a short little discussion about the $70 game price tag. So, if you know, Returnal came out this week. It's been getting pretty good reviews. There's some issues with the game that we'll touch on in a bit, but the biggest thing that everyone's talking about is it's $70. Now, this is the first next gen title to be $60 because Call of Duty Cold War was $60 or $70. Sorry, $70. What, did I say 60 this whole time? $70 price tag. Call of Duty Cold War was $70. There was another one that was $70 as well. I forget the name, but this isn't the first
Wasn't it
one.
the NBA? Wasn't it the NBA 2K games that were
Yeah,
$70?
yeah, they're the new ones for the next gen consoles were $70, and then Returnal is
Spider Man,
well, that was the like game
like
of the
the
year
PS5
edition.
edition.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because that came in like along with Miles Morales, so it's technically
yeah.
two games in one. So I don't really
Wow.
count that as a true, the $70 price tag
Got you.
in this conversation. But
Got you.
with all these games, like a lot of these new releases lately have come under a lot of fire for having crashes, having a ton of bugs, and just not being up to par with next gen. I mean, I know Cyberpunk what had that horrible launch, and I think if that game had come out for next gen and was $70, it would have even that would have been almost unforgivable.
Yeah.
But the fact that Returnal came out and it's $70, a lot of people like it. A lot of people don't, from what I've seen, don't mind the $70 price tag. However, this game even has come under fire for some game crashes and certain bugs and stuff. I mean, you're always going to have bugs in the game, but I think when a console game crashes like this, that's when you got issues because that wasn't a real issue in the past gen at all.
Right.
Like I don't remember my games crashing at all, really, except for
Not really.
Cyberpunk was like my first experience with console games crashing.
I mean, I've had some experiences with it. It wasn't common, but it would usually only be for online only games.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I've had that happen, but like single player games like this, I haven't really had that issue.
I think there's really two sides to this because if you remember a while ago, they had the somebody from PlayStation. They had him on an interview and talked about the eventual price tag raise.
Yeah.
And it was just like something's going to have to give. You're either going to have to scale down the game or you're going to have to increase the price. And then if you're increasing the price, then eventually it's all going to crumble because you're going to have so many people just waiting for the sale. They're not going to buy day one
Exactly.
anymore.
Exactly.
You know. And then
And
you have the other side, whereas if you're going to be paying $70 for a game and it's not native 4K, it's not 60
it's not
FPS
true
native,
next
it's
gen,
not these
yeah.
yeah, it's not these things that you're actually paying the extra $10 for, then that's going to be an issue as well. So
Yeah.
developers, consoles, they need to get it together, honestly, if they're going to be
I know
paying $70.
Take Two came out and was against the price hike. I think
Mm-hmm.
Rockstar, I forget what I saw. I'm not sure if Rockstar was for or against it. I think they were for it. But
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I think that if developers are really going to go forward with this price hike, I mean, this is not new because PlayStation 2 games were like $40,
Right.
$50, and then PlayStation 3 and 4 were both 60. So
60.
it's a natural evolution of prices
Because games get more
relative
expensive to
to
make and
the
everything.
quality of games. However,
Yeah.
lately the quality of games has also gone way down because people rush this shit and it's released broken. So if
And you're still
developers
doing DLCs and half games and whatnot. Like,
exactly, if developers are really going to go forward with this price hike, they need to make sure that their games are worth that money. And the other thing I saw was if this price hike becomes like the new norm, then we got to basically just say fuck you to microtransactions because I'm not paying
yeah,
$70 and then
exactly.
having games push microtransactions in my face every
Mm-hmm.
time because I was playing the trial for Call of Duty Cold War, and
Mm-hmm.
every single other screen after the match, before the match, whatever, they're pushing you to buy the battle pass, buy the game.
Skins,
Just
guns.
yeah, they're just pushing all this shit on you. I'm like, I don't care. I'm not going to buy this game. I'm playing it because it's free. I don't want to buy this game because it's not that great of a game. Now,
And then,
now Warzone is a
sorry, I
little
was
bit
gonna
better. Warzone's a little bit better just because they're free to play, first of all, but they don't push all these microtransactions on you. They have them
yeah,
there.
no.
They set back. Like they have a little promo when new stuff comes out, but that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So everything is kind of set aside, and that's good. That's a really good model for them to have, especially because they're free to play. But like these,
Absolutely.
but like if Destiny comes out with Destiny 3 and it's going to be $70 for next gen, and they're having all these microtransactions that they're just throwing in your face, especially any EA game coming out anytime soon, because they're infamous for
Mm-hmm.
microtransaction bullshit. If they're making you spend $70 for a game, they need to get rid of microtransactions. They just do. Unless the game is free to play, don't include them.
I mean, even on a smaller tidbit, like something that's closer to home, Zombie Army Trilogy, Zombie Army 4 just came out PlayStation Plus.
Yeah,
But for people that bought that game $60, they go into it. Most of the guns are DLC.
exactly.
Most of the maps are DLC.
That was bullshit. Although was the
You
game
know,
$60 or was it just 40? Because I think it was
I
a
think
lower price tag.
it came out 60 because I remember looking at it.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm gonna wait for a sale.
yeah. I mean, I got
And
it
it's
for
just like,
free,
come
but I'm still
on.
not gonna spend it. Yeah, like you get four guns in each category, and then that's it. The rest of the guns are locked behind paywalls. And I'm like, that is some bullshit. But
And you better not be doing this with the next one, or nobody's gonna buy
exactly.
it.
But guys, we passed the question off to you. Do you think the $70 price tag is justified for next gen games? Let us know in the comments below. And last thing we're going to talk about today is, like I said, it was a little bit different. We haven't touched on this kind of topic before, mainly because I'm an ignorant dude who doesn't have the time to really look into all this information. But Epic Games is suing Apple for essentially running a monopoly on their app store. The whole thing behind it is Apple basically charges a 30% commission on all of their app purchases. And they take that for themselves and they give the rest of the money to the app developer. Now this isn't new, okay? Google does it too. Google does. I think they just lowered it to 15%. Sony came under fire for kind of doing the same thing. They kind of privatized the digital game sales only to their platform, so they're coming under fire for that too. But basically, Epic is like, hey, we made this game. The only thing you guys are doing is featuring it on your platform. Like, why are you taking that much money from us just so people can download that game? And I kind of see where they're coming from. However, from what I've been reading, this whole suit is a huge uphill battle for Epic. And I mean, I don't know if they're really going to be able to win this case. If they do, it will be insane. It'll be kind of crazy. And I mean, any attack on Apple, I mean, I support because fuck Apple. But but honestly, if I'm being honest, I don't see this. I don't see this going anywhere. I have a feeling they're just going to settle, and Apple might reduce their commission charge, but I'm not really sure. And this also isn't the first time Apple came under fire from their Apple Store, because they came under fire from lawmakers in Washington, the Justice Department, and the EU, all for pretty much the exact same shit.
And Spotify.
Yeah, and Spotify. But what do you think about this?
So, once again, two sides to it. Epic's argument is that, if you look at Google, you can use different kind of platforms to pay for anything in the Google store.
Yeah.
And they just reduced their commission to $15. I mean, 50%, which is more reasonable,
Much,
and then, Epic is pretty much saying, look, you're making it harder for smaller app developers to really get going and not only get more money to create better stuff for the app, but to create better apps in the future and really get, a good technological boom going. And, to an extent, that is true. If you keep taking all this money because you're a $2 trillion company, do you really need an extra 30, what is it, 30%? Do you really need an extra 30%? Just because people are going to buy your stuff anyway. You got the next Apple around the corner, and everybody's going to be getting it. That's going to be another $1 trillion of revenue for the next year.
Exactly. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. And honestly, I mean, I'm on the side of Epic on this one, mainly just because I hate Apple, but also because, like everything you said, like having that 30% commission, that's a huge hunk of your revenue right there.
Yeah.
That's going to really hit smaller app developers really hard.
And they were even saying, hey, if this wasn't a thing, they would have 100 people working on Fortnite. They would have so many people working on other projects. And, that makes the app developer team have to stay small and not really be able to expand because they have to pay more people. And it just kind of barrel rolls after that.
Epic already banned the mobile versions of the game from the Epic Games Store. Now, you can still get a link from Fortnite.com/Android that sends you over to Google Play to download the game. But again, with Google, they're not like exclusive to their pay system. So you can do PayPal, you can do like the Google credit, you can do your credit card, whatever you want. Like they have so many different options on how to pay for the stuff. They still take a revenue cut, like a commission, but it's not nearly as high as Apple. But it's this whole thing. It's this whole suit that's going on, and there's a lot coming out of it. I mean, they even discussed what Sony is doing with Fortnite and their crossplay, because apparently Sony is taking a cut of revenue from Epic Games to support their crossplay. So like, basically how that works is more so Sony can control like who's playing on what and how much they're getting for it. Because I mean, if they're just giving away for free, like they're going to be losing a ton of money on that, So,
yeah, right.
So basically, it's working as if people buy V-Bucks on a different platform, but then they're playing on PlayStation, they'll take a cut from those V-Bucks, purchases over to Sony. So but it's all stipulated in a way that was way before any of this happened. It was right around when Sony was saying, okay, we'll do crossplay, because they're the last ones to hold out. So that was just under their contract, and that part, what Sony's doing makes complete sense. But yeah, what Apple's doing is kind of messed up. But it's going to take a lot for Epic to prove this, and even more to prove that they're abusing it. Because that's the whole thing. It's not just like they have to prove that they have an illegal monopoly. It's that they have to prove that they're abusing it to make it like anti-competitive system.
Right. So. And it's really like, I would love for Epic to win this, because I mean, like you said, Apple is just not great. Very cringy. Yeah.
Apple's essentially a comic book villain.
But for anybody that wants to keep up on it, they are going to be doing live streams of the court case.
Yeah, this is going to be going on for like 3 weeks, so this is far from over. And I will link to the explanation of this entire lawsuit from NPR because they do a really, really good job at explaining this. I'll link to that in the description below. But anyways, guys, let us know what you think about the Apple or the Epic versus Apple lawsuit. Let us know if you think that it's, a valid lawsuit or you think Epic is just overreaching here. And also let us know what you think about anything else we talked about today in the comment section below.
So let us know if there's any other topics that you heard today or whenever that you want us to go in more, and then, maybe you can chime in on it on a live stream sometime. Who knows?
Yeah.
Depends on how we set up and what kind of feedback we get. So let us know, guys.
Yep. Whatever you guys want us to cover, again, just put it in the comments below. And until we get anything from you guys, we probably won't do a live stream like that. But once we start getting feedback from you, we'll definitely do something like that. But guys, we're going to leave you here today. Thank you so much for diving in with us. If you like this video, please hit that like button. If you're new to the channel and you have not subscribed yet, now is the perfect time to do so. We're trying to get up to 200 subs. We're going to do a game giveaway once we hit that mark. So please hit that subscribe button. Share this video with all your family, friends, and colleagues. And we will see you guys in the next dive-in. Thanks so much for watching. Stay excellent.
All right, guys.
Peace.